Hello guys, welcome. You might be wondering why we're looking at a game when this is clearly a video about art. Well, at least that's the idea. So I just wanted to share how I study lighting for the pieces I make, either by, my sketches or, well, more specifically for pieces that are fully colored. So I know it's a little odd that I am showing you a video game. This game is called Stellar Blade, and the game itself it's alright. Okay, I won't. It's not a masterpiece or anything. It's okay. That's it. It's okay. That's my review. um, However, something very interesting, something quite peculiar about this game is, well, I think you can see. Eve, our main character, wears quite interesting outfits that are attached to her body. The reason is because, well, spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, don't watch this video. She's part robot, so what you're seeing here is technically actually her skin. It's not really that she's wearing a suit. It's the way she looks. Or at least that's how I understand this works. Because even the other suit, when you are naked, quote unquote naked, it's still one of these suits, just that it's clear. So, getting that little explanation out of the way, in this case, the reason I decided to boot this game and show you what I usually do or how I study lighting is because this game has really good lighting. The graphics are not great, but that's not the game's fault. That's my computer. I run this on my PC, and this is not a gaming computer. This is a computer that works very well for art. I got it made. I got some people help me choose parts that are specifically catered for making art. So as you can see already, when I tell you about the lighting, I really enjoy observing just the way light interacts with Eve in this game and any other characters, but mostly her because, well, she's right there in the center of the screen. And the reason I prefer this outfit also when I study lighting is because I really enjoy drawing things or painting things that are supposed to be white. But of course, when you are painting, you don't just, slap white into the piece. So seeing the way white changes with different lighting, that's something that I enjoy seeing. And while I study this, I don't make sketches. I don't copy the picture. No, I literally just have her stand and just see what's going on, how the light's behaving. So let me see if I can find a place where we have a little bit more interaction with lights. For example, like the light that is being projected by our little friend over here, and also the lighting that comes from the environment itself. So let's do that. Alright guys, so look at this. I found a really cool spot for us to analyze. Here we have like 3 different sources of lighting, which is absolutely great. So if you notice, there's this red light right here next to us. There's also this blue tint all around the area. We have some light coming from above as well as the light from the little companion we have here as well, from the drone. And if you notice, all of these things interact very interestingly with Eve's outfit because the outfit has a reflective quality to it. So something that I like to do in this case is that I just like to interact with the lights and flip the camera around so I can see how much of the light affects one face of her, like the front of her body in this case, is affected by the red light, but the back of her is affected by the blue light. So if you notice, if we look at her from these 2 different perspectives, it's like we have 2 different color palettes. Well, we have 2 different color palettes, one for the back and one for the front. What makes lighting interesting in a picture is combining some of these color palettes. So for example, having a little bit of one and a little bit of the other, like this angle right here, where you can see a little bit of the blue on the back and a little bit of the red on the front. Another thing is that if you notice, this is actually probably not really blue. I honestly think that this is going to translate to a really deep gray if you scoop it out of the image. However, we know it's blue. It translates to blue. So another thing, let's try to go in the water and see what happens in there as well. So if you notice, it's really dark, as it should be. However, if we get closer to the red light, just a little bit, I hope she doesn't like completely come outside. If you notice, we have the combination of both lights as well. Or better said, both lighting effects or both color palettes. The red light is still there, but it's a darker shade of red compared to the one we saw while she is outside. Something that you have to take into account when you add color to an image, besides the color palette itself, is that colors combine, colors add up, so you can create the adequate environment or the adequate scene for your character. So in this case, if you notice, mostly blue, the light is just there, it's a little mild reflection. On this side, different story. Because most of the source we have that it's not in sight for us is the red light. We cannot really see it, we don't see the light, but we see the effect of the light. And that's something that you have to take into account as well. Lighting that is not exactly where we can see the source, but we can see the effect of the light on our character. In my case, I am a character artist. I prefer to draw human characters, or humanoid characters preferably. So this game is a great source for me to study and somehow have a model, a person looking model that I can use. You could say as a reference, but like I mentioned before, I don't really like using references. I like to spend time studying what I see, like right now. And then eventually, maybe tomorrow, maybe in 2 days, I try to remember or recreate these pictures in my head. I try to interact with the shape, and what I'm doing right now with the camera, I do in my head. I try to visualize the 3D model in my head, flip it, turn it, and try to remember where the lights are. Now, this is not something that just happens. I've been drawing for over a decade now. So it's something now that comes naturally. So take a look at this. Look how the lighting changes as we go up or down, because we have different sources of light. Let's go all the way up. And look at here. Here we have a dark, neutral palette. There is not much going on here in terms of lights that have a color to them. Let's go to this area. And you can see how it changes. Here, this is a great area not for the colors themselves, but it's a great area to study shade and lighting, the source of light and the source of your shadows. This game has, if I recall correctly, it has a demo. If you have the opportunity, I would recommend that you download the demo, since it's free. And honestly, the first part of the game, I think it gives you enough material that you can work with in terms of just studying lighting. Again, another thing that I enjoy is that because of the reflective quality of the outfits, we get to see the way light reflects. It's almost like a mermaid tail. It looks like it has scales. Let's go to picture mode. Okay, In picture mode, of course, like I mentioned, my computer is not a gaming computer, so excuse the frame drop. Here, you can also do more things like playing with her pose, moving the camera around, and also choosing the kind of lighting you want to practice in case you don't want to look for a source yourself in the game. I enjoy the adventure of the game, although the game itself is, it's not on par with a game like Horizon, for example, or Elden Ring. It's not up there, but it's still not a bad game. You should give it an opportunity if you like this kind of content. A lot of people compare it to Nier Automata, but I think personally that Nier is better crafted story-wise than this one. So they have similar aspects of the sci-fi going on, yeah, but the way the story develops and the way the characters are built is extremely different. Regardless, in this case, for example, we can work with some of the poses that Eve has. So you can choose if you want to make her look a certain way. Let's make her do a heart. Okay, expressions as well, we can choose some of them. And the most important thing for the thing we're doing right now, for our little study, we have some lighting resources. If you notice, we have a little light bulb over here, and we can select a lot of different lights that we can include in our picture. Let's just add one. Okay, light one, there we have it. You can move this light around. You can also change the color. And here you can choose where you want this light so you can actually see how it interacts with different parts of the human body. Granted, yes, this is a female body. However, if you have already worked with other human figures, it's very easy to translate or to transpose some of the qualities from one type of body to another. Okay. Now, for now, the only thing I can tell you is that you can study lighting with this. Okay. And I highly recommend it. Honestly, I think that a lot of my hours of gameplay are doing this, not even the game itself. Isn't it great? And also, you can create some interesting lighting. Personally, I think this kind of backlight that outlines a part of the character makes the picture pop. It makes it quite interesting. I really enjoy this kind of effect for my art. And of course, like I mentioned, you can also choose if you want this to cast a shadow or not. The range of it, the color. You have a lot of different options. So honestly, I think that this game is more of a lighting simulator, or that's what it became to me. For me, sorry, that's what it has become for me. And I have made, I think, really good use of it. Everything that I have learned, I have applied into some of the drawings you have seen me post on some of my sites. Oh my gosh, if you heard that, that was my cat. He sneezed. Oh, he's smelling my backpack. So this is something that I like to do. This is something that I do quite a lot. So let's end this. Now, before we completely finish, if you're interested in me doing a little bit more of an in-depth analysis of lighting, not only in this game, we can try others. We can certainly do it, and I can give you further recommendations. Especially nowadays, where I think that making actual art is quite important. Seeing how many people are being phased out by artificial intelligence, and because a lot of people do not understand art, they are focused more on images, not on art. Art and images are not the same thing. Okay, so we have these algorithms that manage to create an image, but that doesn't mean that they manage to create art. Okay, let's bring some more lighting with us. Okay. So, finally, let's take another look at a different outfit, something that does not have these reflective features. Alright, here we are, and my cat is here. Let me move him. You cannot see him, but he's in the way. Alright, so this is one of my favorite outfits in this game. I really enjoy the color. It reminds me a lot of Link's tunic in Breath of the Wild, so I really like it. Now, I really enjoy this outfit as well because it has something that the other one doesn't have, which is texture. Again, excuse all of these oddities that you see in the lighting, like almost kind of a pixel-like quality, like right there. That's my computer, okay? That's not the game itself. I cannot fault the game for that. However, now that we have this new outfit, we can see how lighting behaves in a completely different type of surface. Let's go back down. Do you see how different this is? Because this outfit does not have a reflective quality, it's almost like it doesn't create an entity of its own, unlike the other one. You cannot really see the outfit as clearly. But it emphasizes a lot on the lighting itself. And we're back in the water. Back to our red light. And we can see again that with this outfit, we can focus a lot on where our light sources start and finish. Alright guys, well, I hope that you learned something today and that you give video games another use than just, entertainment. If you already have them, they are a great source of your artistic inspiration. Well, they can be, and you can choose to study in a game like this one. Well, definitely you can take it into account for some anatomy, some lighting, also some shapes. Maybe you like her body proportions. You can use them to study that too and try to draw your female characters in this way, if you like that, of course. Okay, so let me know if there's anything else you're interested in regards of this very peculiar topic. See you next time.